And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. If you guys are new to us on the Amazon platform, welcome. Glad you all could be with us. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button to stay connected with all of our programming here 6 days a week. You'll see it either here in this corner or down below. We're excited to welcome Horatio Tihanyi to our broadcast today. He's an actor as well as a screenwriter. We're going to talk to him about the year that's been 2024 for him, also about the success of KRAZY DEAD. If you haven't heard about that, we'll let you know how to stay connected for the updates. We also are simulcasting our broadcast, so we welcome those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. If you guys have any questions or comments for Horatio, make sure you guys do put them in the chat. Horatio, thank you again for stopping by. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for having me. And might I start off this broadcast by saying, go Yankees.
There you go. There you go. Look, Horatio.
I'm from New York, I guess.
Look, I love it. I love it. Horatio, I was excited to talk to you because one thing that comes through in the interviews I've seen you do and what I've read about you is the love of the dream, the love of the goal, the love of acting and storytelling. What has it been like for you to kind of think about how everything's been coming together for you?
Things have been coming together rather nicely, and might I add, unexpectedly also. I just found out recently some very, very good news about a project that I'm working on, KRAZY DEAD.
Nice.
But I'm going to save that for later on in the interview.
Okay.
Something very exciting.
Love that. I love a cliffhanger. So that's good. So Horatio, take our audience back because we're going to let them know how to stay connected with you on Instagram. When did you know that storytelling in some way, or acting or writing, when did you know that was something you wanted to do?
Actually, when I was like a little kid, back in the day when I grew up in the 70s and stuff, you know, we didn't have those big cineplexes that you have now. You only had like the isolated movie theater. So whenever one of the kids or whenever I would go to see like a new movie like Superman, let's say, I was the first kid in the playground to go see it. I'd go see it and I'd be on like a high when I got out of the theater. So the next day in the playground, I had to act it out for all the kids. And all the kids would sit there like on, you know, that wheel that goes around or on the swings, watching me act out Superman. And I just loved doing it. I loved acting. Indiana Jones was another one I acted out and stuff. So right then I got bitten by the acting bug. And then it was in elementary school. I did a play. I played King Calculator. And I had actually auditioned for the lead role. It was a small school on Long Island, St. Andrews, over there in Oceanside. And I didn't get the lead, but the kid that did get the lead, 2 days before the show, he got sick. 2 days. I was the understudy. But when you're in elementary school, what the hell does an understudy do? Just sit there and hold the book. And in case somebody goes, oh, fuck you reading the lines. So when they said, Horatio, you're up to bat, I was like, what? I was scared. I was nervous. I was terrified. But I remember on the day of the performance, all the parents were really, really nice to me and they reassured me. And if I forgot a line, somebody yelled it out. And when I finished it, I never felt more exhilarated in my life. I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I love to do. Wow. So I started pursuing a career in acting when I was in my late 40s after that.
Yeah.
I became an architect in New York City instead.
Yeah. But Horatio, the thing is about your story is that you never gave up on it. And the other side of it, as you talk about, even when you go into screenwriting, you are willing to better yourself even when other people wouldn't. Where do you think that drive comes from?
It's just something that's been burning inside of me for like I said, for the longest times. And the problem is that I never felt confident enough that I could do it. Because you see the great actors that I grew up with, like Marlon Brando and Al Pacino, Clint Eastwood. I mean, these guys really brought it. I'm like, I can't hold a candle to these guys. So that insecurity always crept in. But eventually I just said, you know what? The heck with this. I got to find out for myself to see if I can actually do this and either quell the fire or see where it takes me. And lo and behold, I found out I have talent. And once I found that out, I'm like, oh, God, now I got to pursue this even farther in the sense that, you know, it added to the fuel to the fire. Like, okay, how much talent do I have? How far can I go with this? And it seems to be that I don't want to blow my own horn, but I'm a pretty damn good actor, and it's almost like boundless as to the characters that I can portray. I'm even shocked about it. You understand? If somebody gives you a character and they say it's kind of tricky, I always find something that I can bring to it that's different. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. But I mean, that passion though, Horatio, definitely comes through. Hello to you, Stacy.
Yeah.
There on the Facebook side. She says hello to you as well, Horatio. And here's the other side of it too. You've been able to pick up fans that have never met you before, but that are being inspired by you and rooting for you. Talk to us about that experience, Horatio. What it's been like for you to see that support both online as well as offline for you.
The support has been amazing in my in people around me. You know, the people around me. Let's put it this way: my social life isn't the typical social life. I have a Harley motorcycle, and I'm part of a motorcycle club. These are the kind of guys that don't give two hoots about nothing. You understand? They know about the biker life. They know about working hard. They're blue collar guys, you know. Yeah. But each one of these guys is pulling for me because it's like one of their own is making it. You understand? So they're really invested in it. They're pushing, you know. I reach out to them. I talk to them about it and everything. They're like, they can't believe you made it, man. Keep going, keep pushing, don't give up and everything, you know. So all the times that anybody just reassures me even a little bit, it means a lot to me. I can't even tell you how much it means to keep going because I don't know about the rest of the people in the entertainment world, but I'm fraught with insecurities. I mean, not for nothing. I might look like a confident guy, but let's face it, acting or screenwriting or film production, it's the only work you do in the world where you do your job and then you say, all right, millions of people judge me. You understand? You're putting yourself out there to be judged. And who likes to be shot down? I don't know anybody that does. So when it's people tell me you're doing good, Horatio, I take that as a positive sign and I use that to push forward. Even when I'm feeling down on myself and I'm like, man, I can't do this, man. What am I doing? But then I remember my friends and stuff and I'm like, I can do this. I got this.
Yeah. And you've been able to tackle different types of subject matter as well, Horatio. I noticed that when I was prepping for this. Is that also what keeps it fun for you, that you can bring different type of characters to life?
Yeah. It's, lo and behold, you know, and through my writing, I found that I can write both drama and comedy equally successfully. People have read my screenplays, and somebody said one of my screenplays, I was quotable. And the person that told it to me was not the kind of person that gives out compliments, just all willy-nilly and stuff. And, you know, you're kind of a mean person, actually. But she was helping me with something, and she's like, wow, your stuff was really quotable. And I was like, that's really cool, man.
Yeah.
You know, and acting range, the way I see it is that why hold back of any kind of a character? You understand? Why? Give it a shot, man. You never know. Let yourself free your mind and your butt will follow kind of thing.
Yeah.
And to me, I don't have any hangups about portraying any kind of characters, no matter what they are or who they are. You understand? I try to entertain through it all because that's what people want, is to be entertained. So anyway.
Yeah, and I think too, I think as people are finding out about you, and we're about to get into KRAZY Dead here, Horatio, the other side of it is the hard work is paying off. You know, I introduced you as an actor and screenwriter, but you're an award-winning screenwriter as well. I want to talk about KRAZY Dead. Talk to us about how the idea came for that, because, you know, I noticed from what I remember in my prep for you, you started off with this short called American Dream. Is that right? That tackles some of the more serious things. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
American Dream.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. American Dream was a short. I went into writing because of out of necessity. Mm-hmm. I didn't set out to say that, oh, I'm a writer, let me write something. The legislature in Florida, in all their wisdom, took away all the tax incentives for film companies to film down here. So unless they need a specific location, a Florida location, they don't film down here. So the auditions were drying up. I was going out on maybe per year, 50 to 60 auditions, which in South Florida is amazing from what I was told. But then it all dried up, and a friend of mine, she was kept getting typecast as the crying mom, soccer mom. So I said, you know what? Let me sit down and write something. We can shoot something, just to practice our skills and keep sharp and everything. And that's when I sat down and I wrote American Dream, and people were like, wow, this is really, really good. And I was like, really? They're like, yeah. So I said, okay, let's see if I can do bigger subjects. And then I sat down and I wanted to write a comedy about something that nobody's ever really written a comedy about. So after a while of thinking, I said, all right, here's something in everyday life that nobody really has focused on, strictly comedic wise. And that's a family that owns a mortuary. There have been other shows, but they haven't had, they're like comedy dramas, mixtures and stuff. KRAZY Dead is more in the lines of Married with Children and Schitt's Creek and all the comedies I grew up in the 70s, like MASH and Sanford and Son, All in the Family, The Jeffersons. The list goes on and on of what I grew up with. The funny comedies that made you laugh. Right. Forget about nowadays. I don't know what it is nowadays. They have comedies that have no jokes. I don't understand. Yeah. So that's why I sat down and I wrote KRAZY Dead, because nobody had ever written a comedy about that. And I figure if I did it right, people would be intrigued to peek behind the curtain of what goes on in a mortuary, comedically speaking, of course.
Well, and now here you are. Let me ask you this, though, when it comes to KRAZY Dead. And did it feel for yourself? Did it feel like something special as you were writing it?
Yes. Yes, for the first time. Now, I've written a few screenplays in my life, and basically, I don't know about how other screenplay writers do it. For me, let's say I'll write something on page 15, but then by the time I get to page 43 or so, I'll write something, and then I'll have to go back to page 15 to adjust the continuity so there's no plot holes in it. Yep. With KRAZY Dead, it didn't happen. It just all came naturally flowing out of me. It was like in sports, when you're playing basketball and you hit every shot, you were in the zone, man. I was just in a zone. It was unbelievable. The ideas just kept coming to me. One thing led into another. I set up jokes in the beginning that I use throughout. Then I'll set up a joke, but I won't pay it off till the third act. Then I have a joke and I'll use it sporadically. Situations that everything just came together with it. You understand? It was amazing. I wrote it in 10 days, basically. And out of those 10 days, I did maybe 6 or 7 days of writing, and I put it aside for a couple of days so I could review it in my mind as to where it's going, where I'm going, because I didn't know where I was going either. Yeah. You understand? Everything was just coming out of me fresh. But I had kind of a roadmap because I didn't want to go off on a tangent. Sometimes my screenplays end up being 200 pages long. I have a problem with wrapping up scenes in too long and stuff like that. But yeah, I just keep going, Yeah. I got a screenplay now that's 175 pages, only 3/4 done.
Wow. We're going to talk more about that.
I love to write.
Reset real quick, Horatio, and let our audience know you all are watching Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. We're speaking with actor and screenwriter Horatio Tihanyi today. We're talking with him about his year, the success of KRAZY Dead. We're going to let you guys know how to stay connected with him as well. I want to say hello to you guys over on IG. Jesus Blackman, hello to you. Swivel Space, good to be to see you over there as well. Appreciate you guys coming in over there on YouTube as well. If you guys have any questions or comments for Horatio, make sure you guys put those in the chat for us. So Horatio, as you've kind of gone throughout this year, you did release, I read, some great news about KRAZY Dead over the summer. Yes. Talk to us about what that's been like for you to see how things continue to build with this project.
Yeah. Well, I get to that news that I was talking about now.
Okay.
This is all new to me, by the way. Putting a project together from the ground up like this. And I had help on a movie that I did with Lawrence Taylor, starring Storm Cell. Storm Cell starring Lawrence Taylor, I'm sorry. It's about 7 guys locked in a holding cell for the duration of a hurricane and the inner drama that goes between all the inmates and stuff. Mm-hmm. And What was I saying? Oh, geez, I forget. I'm sorry, I forgot the question.
No, it's okay. No, we were just talking about. I had mentioned the news you had dropped about KRAZY Dead during the summer.
That's right. I'm sorry. Right. So
Yeah,
anyway, right. So I did the Storm Cell and Lawrence Taylor, and then I'm putting pieces together as to how to put a production together, a TV production. So somebody told me I needed a website. So I said, all right, let's do a website. I did GoDaddy. I built a website. It is what it is. I don't know exactly how to add to it or anything like that. I just got it up and running. Mm-hmm. I got a message about maybe 2 months ago from an investment firm. Said that they heard about my project on my website, and they're interested in funding me. I said, okay. I'm suspicious right off the bat. There's a lot of clowns out in the entertainment industry. Right. You know, a lot of charlatans. Forget about it. They like to mess with people because it feeds their own egos. These are petty, small people who have no talent. Anyway, I digress. So I cordially wrote back, thank you for the interest. I'd like to apply for the funding and whatever. They sent me an application. I filled it out, and I got a message back that I was approved by the board. Now, I'm still suspicious and stuff. Mm-hmm. This is an overseas investment firm located in Asia. I don't want to get into too many specifics because I did sign a confidentiality agreement. Yeah. Stating that I wouldn't say who their names are, and I wouldn't say it anyway. Even without the agreement, I don't want them flooded. So the timeline of when I'd get emails would be like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, which would match the Asian timeline because that's when they would be sending it. They're 13 hours ahead of me, and everything that they've written has been very corporate, very businesslike, very on the nose. It all seems to be 100% legitimate, and I'm at the point right now where we're exchanging bank account numbers, and there's one thing that I have to get is liability insurance, and they're going to give me 7 figures to make KRAZY Dead.
Wow. Amazing. Now, it kind of goes to what we talked about in the beginning of this conversation, Horatio, the hard work paying off. I tell people all the time that everything's a process, right? But you are willing to stay the course and believe in yourself, believe in the project. Yes. The last thing I want to talk to you about, though, and you brought it up a couple of times in this conversation, Horatio, and that is surrounding yourself with good people.
My little friend won't leave me alone. I hope you don't mind if he joins us.
No, I love cats, so no, I love it. So I want to talk about what it's been like for you to surround yourself with people who are there to encourage you and support you. How much does that help you along the way?
The people that encourage me and help me, it's immeasurable. I can't even begin to tell you how much it means to me. I don't have family in this country. I have a mother and a father, and that's it. Okay. So we see each other once a week, but that's about all. They're old time people in the sense that they're European. They were both born in Europe. They're supportive in their own way. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yes. So whoever says to me, Horatio, you're doing a good job. I believe in you. You can do it. It means a lot because I know that they're sincere and they wouldn't just blow smoke up my ass. Smoke up my tushy because of the fact that, they wanted to get on my good side or whatever. You understand? Yeah. So every little, even, with the encouraging words that you've had so far, means a lot to me. Just this interview, the fact that you're taking your time means the world to me. You understand? It absolutely does. I can't thank you enough. Yep,
well,
there he goes.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure because I know, Horatio, this is what I realized when I was first introduced to you. And that is that, I'm all about being able to share the power of the dream, but also the importance of the hard work. And you have both. You had the power of the dream, but you were willing to put in the work. Is that part of the advice you give for other people who are trying to break into it?
Yes. To put in the work, even if you don't know what you're doing, there's a logical way to go about doing things. There are kind of templates on the internet that you can use if you don't know the proper steps in for them to go. There are no problems. There are only solutions. Don't get stuck or hung up on one thing. And the major thing is you got to get over yourself. The insecurities, the I can't do this. I don't know. Am I good enough? What am I doing? Forget about all that. It's going to be there. You might as well accept it and move on. You understand? That part of you will never go away. I don't think there's anybody in Hollywood that truly feels 100% confident about anything that they do. You understand? Everybody's nervous to some level. So just push past that. Find the next step you need to focus on, and that's all. Everything else will fall into place afterwards. Don't put that proverbial cart before that horse. Otherwise, you're going to get nowhere really, really fast. And that's exactly what I've been doing, one step at a time. And what's that old saying? 99% perspiration, or 98% perspiration, 1% inspiration, and 1% luck, or something like that.
Yeah.
If you do all that perspiration, inspiration kind of stuff, that 1% luck will work itself out. I guarantee it. You understand? Yeah. I mean, look at me. I don't know who guts about doing a website here. I put up something, and next thing you know, I have these overseas firms reaching out to me, asking me, would I partner with them, basically?
Yeah.
You understand? Because they believed in my project. And right now, is another thing I want to tell people is right now, these streaming services are dying. They need content. They need original content. You don't need hundreds of millions of dollars to produce a TV show. You understand? You just need an original idea. Stop copying everything that's out there. That's why I did KRAZY Dead. There's no comedies about a funeral home. You understand? Now, I am tap dancing on a landmine because I got to be respectful. It is dealing with the dead and everything. So I try to keep the focus away from that as much as possible and focus on the family itself. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just hang in there, man, and follow your passion, to the end, wherever that end may be for you. My ultimate end is a star on Hollywood Boulevard. Hey, forget about it.
Love that. I love that. Audra Lynn, hello to you over there on IG. Hello to you, Knowledge. Stacy says, loving this interview. Thank you so much for that. She also says, he's so full of energy and kind. The energy definitely comes through and the passion comes through. Again, everyone, Horatio Tihanyi has been our guest. Horatio, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you?
Well, you can Facebook, you can look me up, Horatio Lewis Tihanyi. Where else? Instagram, but I don't really post much on social media because I'm old and I forget. So I'm trying to remember the postings, but on Facebook, Horatio Tihanyi, you can find everything that there is to do with KRAZY Dead. I've won over 100 awards on film festivals from it. You understand? And it catalogs everything that I've done. I'm going to start posting more. Once the funding goes through, then I'm going to be posting on a regular basis because I'm going to hire somebody to do it so I don't forget.
There you go. Well, Horatio, congratulations to you. So glad
we had you very much.
Today, and looking forward to our next conversation together, man.
I am too. Thank you very much for having me.
Glad to do it. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.